right, guys, welcome to the Media Hijack Podcast. I'm your host, Billy Walters, and joining me is Chris, Unholy Jesus. Yeah.
Hey, salutations. Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Media Hijack. This is episode 260. Before we get started, if you guys want to get some official Media Hijack t-shirts like this one, head over to themediahijack.com. Grab you some official Media Hijack t-shirts. Also, if you guys want to catch the replay for this live Twitch video, you can catch it on the following day. Also, you guys can catch us live on Twitch every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. And we start kind of late, because we like to talk in the background for a little bit.
Yeah, we catch up.
But yeah, if there's somebody in the chat, then we start the show. All right. Also, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. Give us that 5-star frog splash. All right, let's get started.
Let's go.
All right, so main topic for the day, we're going to be talking about the Waffle House Chronicle, which was a guy who teleported to a Waffle House, supposedly teleported to a Waffle House. And I think this guy, he happens to be working at FEMA as like a Office of Response and Recovery. But before we get started, I want to talk about there's one video trend I was seeing on Instagram where like when dogs are barking and babies are crying, right? When they yell out the name Jessica, like the dog will stop barking and then babies stop crying. So a bunch of parents were doing this, like when their babies start crying, they just yell out Jessica, and then kids, they stop crying. Let me show you a video.
Yeah, let me try to understand this.
Jessica!
Look at that.
Jessica!
See, they just all stop.
No.
Jessica! Jessica!
Who? Where is she?
Jessica!
Like, I want to.
you?
I want to have a kid so I can test that, but that's an expensive test.
Right?
It's a little choppy, but this works on dogs too, not just babies. It works on dogs. Like, check this out. This is just one dog. Oh, let me get Chris' face out.
Jessica,
See how
come get him.
The dog just stopped out of nowhere, and he sat down. They did a bunch of videos.
A ghost?
Huh?
Is Jessica a ghost? Everyone's like looking like,
Dude, I was like,
dog, baby.
I started thinking, right? And then light bulb went in my head, and I was like, let me see if people in the comment section, thought the same thing I did. So I looked through the comment section. Nobody thought what I thought. You think what you? Damn, I'm about to stutter. But my first thought, I had to stop. My first thought was, the proper name. How do you say Jesus?
Yeah.
Is Yeshua.
Oh,
So
Yeshua.
It sounds similar to Jessica. It's like Yeshua. And since baby infants, right, and dogs, they're like the pure soul.
Yeah.
So they're the closest that was connected to Jesus, if you believe like in the Lord like that.
Right.
So it's almost like they heard, the boss's name. They're like, oh, I better act right. They just called Jesus.
Right. Oh, he around the corner?
Yeah. They're like, yes, Yeshua. Because it sounds the same. I was
Makes sense, especially for babies.
Yeah,
They just got here.
Babies. Yeah, they just got here.
They just got here, so they still got the old world brain.
They're still connected to like the other realm, the other world.
They still think they're in the office. They still think they're at work.
Like, wait, what?
No.
What? Jesus here? Yeah,
Shit, I gotta pretend like I'm working.
yeah, that was my theory, and I was like, they might be responding to Yeshua,
Yes,
their Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Jessica. Jessica, Yeshua.
Yeah, I was like, and nobody caught that except for Billy Waters.
What was everybody else saying?
Like, just saying, like, oh damn, then Jessica must be a bad bitch.
Like, yeah, bad motherfucker.
She mean as hell. But
Yeah, got everybody shook. That's funny.
Yeah, because the baby just shut up, and then there's a bunch of dogs that just stopped barking. I was like, that's crazy that it works on dogs too.
That's even crazier.
Yeah,
that's even crazy to me.
Yep.
Yeah, right. The dog looked in the direction of where.
And then he sat on the couch. He was like, I was like, I better be correct when when Jesus.
Yeah, acting all well behaved all of a sudden.
Like, I'm just sitting on here on the couch.
What if they think you're tattling on them? You're like, Jessica. They're like, oh, don't tell. Like, okay, I'm gonna pretend I'm good now.
Yeah, but then the thing is, it only works for that name. But I want to test it though. Let's just go punch a baby real quick if he ain't crying.
Oh, I was gonna say, oh, damn, that's. I was about to say kidnap. I was about to say kidnap a baby,
Damn,
but yeah,
okay.
punch a baby might be a little bit more
Palm
normal.
Beach Pete.
Like,
Yeah, or a dog. Get somebody's dog and shit.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Damn. Is there any kind of like scientific explanation for this? It's
I
just
don't know. It probably works for other names, but I can't test it.
now I gotta find. Do I even know anybody has a baby? Damn, I don't. Everybody all grown up now. Shit.
Yell outside the house. Hey, y'all got a baby?
Yeah. Hey, you lady,
Trying to
cross
see
street.
something.
Hey, I'm gonna make your baby cry right quick.
Ooh, right in this.
Jessica, and it stops.
Punch him in the stomach. All right. All right, let's get to this Waffle House Chronicles.
Let's get it.
All right, so Gregg Phillips was a man who claimed to be who claimed that he got teleported about 50 miles away to a Waffle House in Georgia. I think it was like Rome, Georgia, or some shit.
Yeah, Rome.
He said he was with his son, and when he was with his son, he was mentioning that he wanted Waffle House, and then suddenly he appeared at the Waffle House.
Shit.
Yeah, and he's like, I can't explain it. And then he
Oh,
also
shit,
claimed another incident where his car was mysteriously lifted and dropped near a church. So a lot of weird shit happened to this guy, supposedly. This is all his stories. Like, a lot of weird shit happened. And Gregg Phillips is not just like a regular dude, like we were saying. Like, he's the lead at FEMA's Office of Response and Recovery, which is one of the agency's top disaster response divisions. So he has like an important job. And he out
Very
here,
important.
yeah, very important. And he out here talking about, I got teleported to a Waffle House. I don't know how I got there, but it's like, I just imagined me at Waffle House, and then boom, I'm at Waffle House.
And he's like, all right, guys, now let's talk about hurricanes. It's
About
like,
the
what
hurricanes. Like, we got a little project about this. But yeah, I kind of believe him, dude. Because it's like one of those things where, if you think about something hard enough, like, it kind of happens, but in weird ways.
in strange moments.
Yeah,
Because it's not like a
physical manifestation.
I mean, I don't know if it's an alien thing. I mean, I wish I had the powers to go to a Waffle House near me. At least back to Georgia, man.
If
God,
you
like,
believe hard enough.
like the movie Jumper. Like if you look at a picture, you ever seen the movie Jumper? You look at a photo, like I'm going to Paris, and now you're in like Paris. Like now I'm going to Egypt, and now you're on top of a Sphinx.
Yes, it's like that, dude. And
I'd be cool to just have like.
Go ahead.
I'd be cool to just have like one direct line to Waffle House. The one I used to go through in Lithonia, like Waffle House Lithonia, bink, and I'm there. Like, let's
Imagine
go.
if everybody just tapped into that and everybody could do it. Dude,
Man,
airline companies would bomb.
Collapse.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You stalk straight down to the ground. It's like, oh
Man.
shit, let me just go to Great Wall. But then it'll be so chaotic.
I think the world would be smarter for it though. When you travel, you learn more. You absorb other cultures. You learn other cultures. The most ignorant people never leave anywhere. They just stay in a fucking bubble. Those are the most ignorant people. Yeah, man. Like everywhere else sucks out there, but my little bubble. Like, yeah, I think the world would be a smarter place if we could teleport more.
But imagine 8 billion people doing it. It wouldn't even. It wouldn't
That'd be too chaotic, man.
Yeah, that's too much. Yeah, so I take that back.
I imagine it'd be a lot of
chosen.
dead people floating. I imagine it'd be a lot of dead people floating in the ocean. They accidentally teleport, like middle of the Pacific. Oh shit!
Teleport to Lake Lanier. Like, what the fuck?
Oh no!
Not this lake. This is not the lake I want.
Not Lake Lanier.
Blue, 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 blue.
Yeah. So this dude, Gregg Phillips. So in January 2025, he did an interview. This is a year ago now? A little over a year ago now. Mm-hmm. Phillips stated that he experienced events that describe teleportation, which you had just said. Said he said his car was lifted about, approximately 40 miles away or 50 miles away that ended up in a ditch near a parking lot. But he's also been on other podcast shows. Like, this is one thing I realized, like, with this whole fucking government that we live in called Earth right now, in the United States government, I don't know how many podcasts show the president's watch, but it seems like most of the people of his administration are either a podcast background or have been on a podcast, like the director of the FBI, the deputy of the FBI who just quit his damn job. Almost everybody at some points came from like a podcast realm. So I'm not shocked that he got a job too, because he seemed like he may have been on that podcast level too. And because he also has other stories about that he claims where it includes his like that he has other stories where it includes like accounts of a deceased girlfriend allegedly intervened in a car accident. Did you hear about this one?
No.
Yeah, so Gregg Phillips, he has like other stories, like outside of the UFO stuff. He has other stories where he was driving a car one day and like a dead ex-girlfriend of his allegedly like intervened into saving him from like a car accident, as well as he claims that he heard Satan speaking to him during a trip in Spain. And there's also another instance where he said that he collapsed in a store and later regained awareness in a nearby parking lot with little memory of how he got there. This dude has like a bunch of crazy like incidents with like,
what the hell? How'd he get that job?
Man, we're missing chunks of time, man.
That's crazy. You think he's lying?
I don't know, but if it's true, because here's the thing, I heard stories that he actually was going through, like he had like some type of cancer. I don't know if it was like in his bone or
like
something.
Like where one he could die?
Yeah, like a serious cancer. Like this shit was gonna get bad, like to the point where he had to go to chemotherapy for it. And I got it in my notes somewhere. I don't feel like digging for it. It's somewhere in there. I'll come across it later. But so like he was told that he needed to start going to these chemotherapy classes to treat his cancer. And from my understanding is that he decided to do more of a holistic route, to do, medicines outside of the system. And so some of the stuff that I was reading about him was like, well, he may have been like some of this holistic medicine that he was using to treat his cancer may have been creating like psychological episodes or hallucinations while he was going through the process of curing his cancer. Because he didn't deal with his cancer through regular means. He straight up went through like a whole outside like Aaron Rodgers type of
doctor.
Yes, like he went outside the system. So some people are like, hey, this might have been a byproduct of like if this is not true that happened to him about teleportation, it may have been through his holistic treatments that it may have been a side effect of it. So that was another story I did come across, which
that probably opened up his spiritual channel.
You know what I'm saying? Like a floodgate.
Like a little too much.
Yes. But either way, though, I do feel like this man might be it. Like, for example, like I remember, was it last year? I think it was like last year when there was like a massive flood in Texas. And remember that those Girl Scout troops got killed during that flood in Texas? I don't remember that story. Like, so in Texas last year, there was a massive flood. This flood went through an area that from what I'm not mistaken, because the government was like rolling back on a lot of stuff and like, fraud and abuse and stuff like that, they started moving funding from particular things, especially from the weather system. And so there's a town in Texas that gets awful floods, that like gets like historically awful floods. And so
I know about this, but yeah.
Yeah, and you remember they removed like the warning system from the town, and the town got like straight flooded. FEMA took a lot of hit off that because that was kind of thing that kind of like fell in like FEMA's lane, and so a lot of people kind of worry now that whether this man's story, Gregg Phillips' story is true or not. There's like as bad as FEMA's getting right now, should we have a man that may be having hallucinations or on a level of like he was abducted by UFOs. Like some people feel unsafe with him being in that position, especially considering how FEMA right now is acting very flaky about like, especially with the government, they're picking and choosing what states to help out during natural disasters based off of what states voted for the president. So if you live in a state that didn't vote for the president, or he lost that state in his last election, FEMA's not coming to you if you're gonna fucking die. That's basically how it's moving right now.
Damn.
And so some people kind of like, fuck, man, like it's what are we doing? It's got I don't know. But Gregg Phillips' story is very interesting, though. I'm not gonna lie. Says following public reporting of these statements, officials within the FEMA Department of Homeland Security, which oversees FEMA, responded by emphasizing that the agency remains focused on its mission of emergency management, and public safety. Because, like I said, people been kind of freaking out over this shit. Like, man, look, FEMA already kind of like getting kind of weird right now, and always had like weird stories about FEMA. Now we got this guy running things, at least being a higher ranking official. It's kind of making people look at FEMA like, man, what the fuck y'all doing over there? Y'all just hiring anybody?
Yeah, I mean, if he's qualified, he's qualified. But
okay, so I found it says like Phillips has indicated that some of these experiences occurred while he was undergoing treatment for metastatic bone cancer. He has stated that he chose not to pursue chemotherapy, instead using alternative treatments. And that's why some people kind of picked up like, oh, maybe he might have been like just tripping balls really hard, and maybe he just walked to a Waffle House, but that time there's a missing chunk of time of him getting the munchies or some shit.
That's where like it became like a meme, like an internet meme, with the whole Waffle House situation. Because I know like there was a few times where I don't even remember how I got to the Waffle House, and it's usually during like the clubbing times.
Oh, that's like peak hour, man.
Yeah.
That was like that's where everybody goes.
Everybody get trash, like, and then I wake up like, oh, I'm at a Waffle House. How did I get here? So that's like one of the jokes about it, because like people's like, yeah, I can't remember half the time I was even in a Waffle House.
Real shit, man. Yeah. A lot of times I live in a Waffle House. Sometimes I was like, I don't know where I just came from, but I'm here now, and it's crowded. Everybody loud. Cops in here. People just got the club. Everybody drunk. Fucking crowded, everybody screaming, talking to each other.
Yeah, it is wild. But then, like you said, he had other weird stories. So I'm like, dude, is this guy? He's like the paranormal activity guy, where all this weird stuff like just happens around him.
Yeah, that was like, because like, if I remember the story correctly from our read, I heard about the story of his ex-girlfriend. So I think he got into a car wreck or something. His car flipped over, and the ghost of his ex-girlfriend flipped the car over while he was in it to save him or something. I mean, that's looking out. She must have been. Yeah,
they must would not believe that story.
Especially an ex-girlfriend. Like, what the fuck? Hey, get your ex-girlfriends. I don't even come save you.
Ex-girlfriend, he could just said Angel.
Right.
He's like, oh no, I can't forget that face. And she lifted the car off of me.
Yeah, if anything, he could be like, Jesus did it. Like Jesus lifted the car, but he's like, nah, I gotta.
And guess what else happened? They lifted up my car and dropped it off at church. Why church? I don't know.
Dropped me in a ditch in front of church.
Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, they dropped me off at Waffle House twice. I teleported twice.
Yeah, Waffle House off the chain, man. I don't blame them, man. Like I said, we've all, like, anybody that lived in the Georgia area, there's a Waffle House on every exit, man. Yeah. You can't get away from it.
Dude, this reminds me of this other story. It's a similar story, right? But it was like a firefighter who was skiing down the mountain in like somewhere on the East Coast, right? And then next thing you know, he teleported all the way to the West Coast. Remember this shit was on the news.
Yes. Oh, that was a while ago we talked about that.
It was a firefighter too.
Years ago.
Who?
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, when he showed up, when they found him on the West Coast, right? Because they had this whole missing shit on the East Coast. Like he went skiing, he went missing. When they found him on the West Coast, he had the same outfit on when he went skiing.
The skiing shit, yeah. Because it was like in Jersey or something. Yeah, I remember. I remember
he was like, he didn't even know what even happened, but like people were trying to debunk the story, saying he got picked up by like a truck, and the truck drove him across the country.
The hitchhiked or some shit, like which has been
because he said he fell off the skis and got a concussion, and then some dude in a truck took him all the way to Cali.
And then when he finally came back to, he was like, "What the?"
It was crazy because he had the same outfit, but he had a haircut on top of that.
And so he was still functioning.
I was like, he probably got abducted and then dropped off in the wrong state, or he had the one weird glitch where he probably went through like a little portal and he got teleported, just like the Waffle House guy.
But the haircut, though, that's the strange thing. Like,
I might have got that information wrong. I'm just trying to like gather it from the files in my head.
I was like, damn, he's like somebody else took over at that point. Yeah. Like, I'm like, I'm gonna get a haircut, and like it's not even the same dude.
But that was crazy.
I remember that story.
He's a firefighter. He got to go back to work. He don't got time to play around like that.
Man, no. I heard they got a cool ass work schedule though, but not that cool.
So like, I was supposed to put out fires. What am I doing in California?
Yeah, because how do you end up somewhere and how you even get back? That's even the crazier part. Because I'm pretty sure you just where's my
Yeah.
wallet?
That's another weird story. But that one, that actually has like receipts and everything because it really did happen.
Yeah, I remember we talked about it some years ago. We
Yeah,
talked about it on the show.
that's a
That was
strange one. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other stuff that happens where people they're just
yes.
walking. Like the other one, right? This one's like super sci-fi-ish because the dude he said he was fixing his sink, right? And then he said he hit his head on the sink. And then when he got up under the sink, right? He said it wasn't even the same house anymore.
I
Like
remember
everything was
that.
moved
Yeah,
around. And then he saw himself in the
younger
future.
self, right?
No, in the
Yeah, oh, older
future.
stuff. That's older stuff. Yes.
Yeah. And he was
Yes.
bald and
Took a
everything,
picture.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, took a picture
And
of
he
each
took a
other.
picture holding himself, and then they both showed their tattoo on that same arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I looked it out. And this was before AI, before all this. This was
All
when
this
they had the flip phone camera.
way
He took the
before.
picture with the flip phone camera.
I remember this. I
Yeah.
remember we talked about it. That's like early. That's early media
Yeah,
hijack
that was
days.
like fucking peak time travel shit.
Oh yeah, everybody was popping up all over the place.
I was like, damn. I was like, that's crazy. I was like, that does look like him when it's older. And they showed the same
Man,
tattoo on the arm. That would
right.
be the proof right there, right? But
You
shit,
think?
I would want to believe that.
Hell yeah. But man, so so anyways, with this guy Gregg Phillips, honestly, there's not really too much to talk about him on like too much on about him because I try to find some more videos about his previous like podcast episodes he's been on. I think it's called like Onward is one of the podcasts he's been on, and it's like on Spotify and Apple and also and one other platform. I can't remember the name of it. It's not even. I don't even think I've even heard of this platform before because this podcast he was on telling these stories is not even on YouTube. It's like little clips here and there. So I was like, damn, it's really hard to find stuff about this guy who just got a very important job. But I mean, as of right now,
I don't think it's making it up. It's just telling a story.
I'm just telling like my Waffle House story, man. Look, everybody got a Waffle House story. I got a lot of Waffle House stories. I got a couple of them, man.
Because he got nothing to gain from that but to lose his job, actually, right?
Yeah, he look crazy. Well, he look crazy as fuck if he's out here like talking as you got a damn
Why are
high
you
job.
talking like that? Like, you got an important job. But nah, I
Some
think
people-
it's just telling his story, man.
Some people just get on platform, like finally get a position of power. Like, oh, now I got a platform. Now I'm gonna tell everything all my experiences of strange shit.
Time to get famous.
He's like, when's the next time I'm gonna be in this position? Like the people to listen to me.
But that's like not the type of job where you even want to put yourself in that type of position.
Yeah, man. It's
It
like
doesn't make
already.
sense.
Right? Man, but Waffle House is a staple. I actually have some fun facts about Waffle House.
What we got?
I stumbled on some funny story. So I will never forget the day I ever came across Waffle House, like ever in my entire life. My first experience is like the year of '92, and me and my family moved from Baltimore down to Georgia. We was driving like in a U-Haul truck or something, and we got to Georgia. And we went out to Terra Boulevard. We stayed in like they still have this motel over there on Terra Boulevard. It's like right next to the Waffle House over there. We stayed in a motel and then we went across the street and we had Waffle House for dinner that night. And at the time as a kid, I never had breakfast for dinner before, but that was my first time ever having breakfast for dinner, and I just love it. I love breakfast for dinner. I don't know why. And we had Waffle House there, and that blew my fucking child mind into oblivion. And I've been like obsessed with Waffle House ever since, man. So. But yes, I actually so this one fact I found about Waffle House. Of course, it was born in Georgia, duh. But the first Waffle House opened in 1955 on Avondale Estates in downtown Atlanta, which I've been there before. That's the last time I went to Waffle House was at that one. It's the very first Waffle House, man. And it looks no special or different from any other Waffle House except for it has a plaque on the front that says like it's the first Waffle House. Other than that, it's a historical spot. One thing I did notice though. Oh, Waffle House opened up 24/7 no matter what. And anybody in Georgia knows that. Like, I've never seen a day where Waffle House was closed. Ever. Even during COVID, they just kept people from going inside. They locked the doors, and that's when they started building them windows. They started building, like, windows you just stand on the outside and do your order out there because they wouldn't let nobody's ass sit in there. But they were still running even during COVID, man. My dad used to work for FEMA years ago. and he was the first person to ever tell me that Waffle House acts as a like FEMA, funny enough, actually uses it as a detection system to know how bad things are. It's because Waffle House stays open all the time, no matter what, man. I don't give a fuck. Tornadoes, anything. Like Waffle House will stay open. But if it ever closes, that means it's some world-ending stuff going on. And FEMA actually uses that as like an indicator. So if like if FEMA trying to figure out like how bad things are getting, how bad things are about to get in the Georgia area. If Waffle House start closing down because a storm's coming, that means, hey, look, people about to die. And so FEMA always uses like, well, yeah, my dad told me this like when he first started working at FEMA. I never knew this till he told me. He's like, yeah, they use Waffle House as like an index of like how things are. Like the government uses like Waffle House.
That's crazy.
Like
they use it as a gauge, like, right, to see how bad it is.
Yeah, as a gauge of how bad things are gonna get. Because Waffle House never, ever closes, man.
I've seen one shut down before.
I've seen one shut down only because it moved across the street. Like they literally like, all right, we'll just move the location, and they just demolished the building. But other than that, I mean, I don't think maybe in COVID. I don't even know if I ever seen one close up. COVID, they still kind of like they made it. I was eating for Waffle House during COVID. But
yeah, you know how like Waffle House, they're known for like all the fights and getting rowdy and shit.
Yeah,
I've never
man,
experienced that.
Oh, I've never like even when I've gone there after clubs, even I've never seen fights. Actually, I got a list of conspiracy theories too. Some people think that it's orchestrated by the government, but
I think it's
crazy.
Just your energy. I don't think we promote that type of violent energy. So I think wherever we go, like that shit stays. The energy is it's like it matches our shit.
Yeah,
I start to believe that, especially like like how I use the transit system all the time, right?
Yeah,
it's like I always miss the chaos for some reason, and I'm on there all the time, and I seem to miss it by like a minute, or I miss it by one train. I was like, how do I miss all this? And I'm on it more than anybody I know.
Right, I'm missing all the action.
Yeah, all I see is the blood and the tape after aftermath. I was like, oh, I missed that. Thank God.
Maybe the universe is trying to protect you.
Yeah, I was like, damn, it has to be, right?
Man,
no Waffle House fights.
I've seen more fights honestly in places when I used to live in Denver. I've seen more fights happen in because every city has like that breakfast spot that everybody just like dives into after clubs and stuff, like eat like a fried egg sandwich or something like that. And I've seen more fights happen at food joints in Denver than I've ever seen even in Waffle House. Like I've been to plenty of Waffle Houses in Georgia. I've never seen like a fight break out. It's been crowded. It's been rowdy after clubs. But now there is one time though I did see a drug deal go down, and this is in broad daylight. It is only me, my mom, and like maybe 5 other people in the Waffle House, and that's including the cooks and like a couple customers. And it was out on Old Dixie Highway. Like it's like the Waffle House on like right off of Old Dixie Highway.
Yeah. That's on brand.
Yeah, right. Like right around it. That's a rough area. I used to work over there too. But the Waffle House right over there. Me and my mom just happened we just happened to be in the area. I think it was at Farmer's Market or something. It was like, oh, let's go grab some, brunch or whatever. Went to Waffle House and we saw like this guy drive up. He was sitting in his car on his phone, and then he got out, came inside, sat down, got up, kept getting out the car, going in and out the Waffle House, and then he finally sat down. He didn't order anything, and then another car pulled up like maybe 20 minutes later, and the guy got out, and they came inside, and they sat, and they exchanged drugs right there on the table across from us, talked to each other like what should happen, and the guy that showed up after, the last guy that showed up, took his money and left, and the guy that had the drugs now, he stayed for a little bit. I think he ordered like an all-star, and then he dipped. And me and my mom was like, we just watched the entire fucking drug deal. Like literally, like they weren't trying to hide it from nobody. And it was like, damn, this Waffle House is literally like a drug drop-off spot officially. So yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about normal.
That's the craziest shit I've seen in a Waffle House. And it was peaceful, man. Last week my food. I did good.
I seen a dude shoot meth on the train.
Shit.
And he was looking at me. He made eye contact the whole time. It was so uncomfortable. He was wrapping his arm. He wrapped his arm like, and then he got the needle. He looked at me, and I'm like, you know that meme where they're all nodding their head like, go for it. I was like, you good? You good?
Like,
Go ahead. I want to see too. And the train was like this. I was like, come on, man. I was like, you must be a pro. You shit.
Keeping it steady. Like,
A trained doctor out here, you know? I
looked
was
you
like,
dead in the
damn,
eyes too,
they're just
man.
getting that shit in, dude. Early morning too. I was like, damn.
Oh, this
that
is
shit
my
in.
this is my breakfast.
Hear him like snap his arm. I was like, get it in, man. Get that breakfast heroin in.
So I'm about to hit this, and then I'm gonna go to a junkyard and steal some copper. Like, I'm about to go all in. Oh, it was good to my little pick me up, man. Nah, that
It's just
yeah.
crazy.
Looked you dead in the eyes too. He's like, you want to see this rocket?
Dude.
You want to see this rocket take off?
Early morning, people's like still trying to open their eyes and shit, falling asleep on the train. Meanwhile,
Sitting in
this
traffic.
dude is getting fucking wasted on the train, dude.
'Cause I've been waiting for this shit all night.
Starts yelling. "Ah!" I got the juice in me.
All right,
Yeah.
so I got a list of like some conspiracies and urban legends about Waffle House too, which I was like, let me see if they got some weird shit about Waffle
What's
House.
the weirdest one?
All right. So we got I think I got like 5. I think I got a list of
Damn.
5, 6. All right, so it's like one is Waffle House is secretly government supported. So the theory is that Waffle House stays open during disasters. Obviously, they do, and has special supply chain priority or government backing. Because a lot of people think like, hey, the Waffle House, yeah, the government relies on it a little bit too much, and they feel like the reason why because Waffle House is privately owned, but there's people that believe that it's not privately owned. It's actually ran by the government. That's because and I can see why some people may think that because FEMA relies on it heavily as an indicator.
I never once thought that. Those two.
I
were
can see
together.
why though. I don't believe it, but I can see why because it's weird for an official government organization to rely on a private company, not like a massive food franchise, just like a private company as an indicator
Right.
for how to.
I
But
always-
basically, like I feel like Waffle House probably saves more lives than anybody in Georgia. if they rely that heavily on it, it's like, damn, Waffle House really do save lives.
Yeah, that's like the ongoing meme about Waffle House. Especially like if there's like a storm, they'd be like, "Is Waffle House open?" They're like, "Yeah," and then we're safe.
Yes, that's the
Yeah.
indicator, man. Like this number 2 right here is like there's always one Waffle House that never closes. So the theory is that in every major region, there's at least one location that will stay open no matter what. Hurricanes, blackouts, anything. And people swear they've seen Waffle Houses open during Category 4 hurricanes, which was like some world-ending shit, ice storm, and seen Waffle Houses operating with power outages. While everything's all blacked out in the area, the Waffle House is still lit, like a beacon of light.
Like the only light.
dark.
You take the drone up, like there's like a whole power outage, but then there's like, what's that one light?
In the distance, you get the
Oh,
binos out.
Waffle
You're like,
House.
how 24/7.
God
So
damn,
yeah, they say
never
like this
close.
place like runs on infinite power. I don't know.
I bet the workers be like pissed off, like, man, I still gotta go in. There's like a Category 5 outside, or it'd be like an ice storm and shit.
When I was a teenager, I wanted to work at Waffle House because for one, I thought it was cool, like how they did, like, because at Waffle House they talk in code, like it's always like everything's all coded, and so
Yeah.
like you learn the code and you don't know what's going on, but
You ever
chopped,
seen a
smothered,
secret
covered.
menu?
Yes, that's actually on this list. I was gonna talk about a secret menu. I didn't even know they got a secret menu, or if this
Dude,
is
that shit
supposedly
is
a
so
secret menu.
complicated.
What?
Yeah.
All right, let's
That's
talk
like
about
a
that. What's up
fucking
with this
tree
menu?
diagram. Like, I was like, whoa. I was like, do you really get all these combinations?
For real?
That shit's like fucking like a chess game.
I know the past several years, like several years ago when I was at Waffle House, I asked like, hey, can I get this and this together? They're like, yeah, you can do whatever you want at Waffle House. I was like, really? I was like, I've been going
Yeah,
here
you
my
can do
whole
whatever
life.
you want, dude.
And I never thought about going outside of like the food menu of what we have
dude,
options
you can
of.
do
It's
whatever
like you can
you
do
want.
whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's like, "Law, if you can imagine it, you can make it for you." And I'm like,
Right.
and it never clicked in my brain, but I remember a waitress told me at the Waffle House, I still have not done it yet, but then you mentioned a secret menu and then how it's all connected. I'm like, I have been told that you can make almost virtually anything you want.
Almost.
Which almost.
Because I remember I was watching a stream with one Speed. I show Speed. He went to Waffle House for the first time, right? And then
Yeah.
he's like, I'll just order whatever. And they said, what do you want to order? He's like, I'll get a chicken Alfredo. And then everybody started laughing. I was like, Yeah, you know he never been there before.
Get out.
I was like a chicken Alfredo.
That might make you like,
It's like, you know what? Let me get a waffle. You guys known for waffles, right? Let me get a waffle. Yeah, you can't miss with that, right?
yeah, you can't.
Get a waffle.
You can't miss even if you miss. Okay, so another conspiracy that, like I was explaining before, is that Waffle House fights are staged or encouraged. So everybody knows about these viral videos of Waffle House. Shit been blown up all over line of like regular civilians fighting regular civilians, and then and actually Waffle House employees fighting civilians. Now these things do happen. I don't think it's to me. I don't think there's a conspiracy behind it. This is just what happens when you have drunk people in drunk environments, and this happens anywhere. I've seen fights happen in bars. I've seen fights happen at other food joints that weren't even Waffle House related, just like strictly a city-based type of food joint, like Denver Diner, for example. I've seen fights break out at Denver Diner before. That's like one of the biggest joints you can go to after a club, like massive. It's big. It's like you put like 4 Waffle Houses together in this Denver Diner. But I've seen fights break out there, man. Like,
but I think the reason why it breaks out in Waffle House is because usually when people go to Waffle House, they just now leaving the club. That's like the spot you go after the club. So they're already drunk, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing with Denver Diner. That Denver Diner is a spot too, where it's like you go to after a club. But I think what makes it special about Waffles though is that the employees, you catch the right one, they will jump into the fight and hit you with a stool. So that was some shit.
Yeah.
These people, so they don't play, man. I don't know why people even bother trying to fight the cook. I don't understand why people at all try to fight people in the food industry in a restaurant or anything. They got all the tools and the weapons, but they got grease. Why are you trying to fight these people on a home field advantage? They got knives, they got sporks. They'll stab you up in that place, man. Why are people trying to fight the cooks? I would never fight the cook. They got the grease, man, and the hot grits. Like, I'm good on that. But so some people believe that, but there's a theory that the chaos is a part of the culture. And some people believe that the staff are trained to handle, even entertain situations. Like, there's people that believe that there's actually a training course of like Waffle House employees be like, Kia, like practicing judo flips or whatever. As for like, people believe like there's like a class to train. Like, man, like what like some like government agents? Like, it's not that serious. They just look, people just got some hands, man.
Yeah, but I think they know, like, when they apply for that job, they know what they're getting into, because they know they're gonna deal with a drunk crowd at night, and they know the night shift is more rowdy, so they gotta be prepared with them hands.
Yeah, man, fight a whole crew.
Yeah, they probably like got a gun on them too. Like, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, look, you ain't shoot me in my job. Look, the last thing anybody wants to get killed at work.
Right.
Like, who wants to die on that job, man?
The Waffle House is known to be the haunted Waffle House.
Yes. But the food be bomb though.
Like, who's smoking in here? Ain't nobody smoking in here. Oh.
Well, that's Gary. He died like 3 years ago, but
Gary got shot in the neck.
You can still smell the menthols in the back. It's just
2 a.m. in the morning. They just left. What's a club out here? I don't know. I forgot.
Opera.
Yeah, Opera.
I don't even know that's even. I don't even know that's
They're
even
all
a
dead
thing
now. They're all gone. I think.
Oh my god, man!
I don't know. I don't know if there's even a club scene.
Bars are better anyway. All right.
Cocaine?
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, so then next we got like you said, the secret menu. So this isn't so not really conspiracy, but close. Regulars claim that you can order off menu combinations. Some cooks will make wild custom meals if you know how to ask. Which and it gives you like this it gives you like this thing of feeling like you're inside of like you're like a part of like the insider club. I've been going to Waffle House since '92. I am upset that this is news to me that you could make a custom. Oh my! There's so many times I've been to Waffle House. I'm like, man, I wish I could have this with this. But
like what?
I thought it was rules. Like we had to stick to the menu.
I put jalapenos on everything.
Man, yeah, I put in my hash browns. I'm like, throw some jalapenos in
and
there.
Then put some
chili.
cheese on that shit. That shit hit, dude.
Yes, man. Oh, all-star breakfast, man. Let me get them. I be eating them chicken sausage. They got chicken sausage there. It's not bad. I be trying to lay off the pork, so chicken sausage is like, all right. It's okay so far.
That pork is like human grade.
Yeah, man. So that's why I've been eating the
If you
chicken
can eat
sausage.
pork, you can eat a human.
Right? I look.
You cannibal.
Well, actually, I don't
Or-
know, man. I heard you break out like in bumps if you eat humans. Like you get like
Is that a
something
bump
like
on
you
your
just kids are
face?
breaking out, huh?
Like the bump on your face right now? You
Yeah,
carnivore?
yeah.
I mean, you cannibal.
I did have a bump on my forehead yesterday
Nope.
too. I busted that shit.
Damn, who you ate? Who you eat?
It's like whose child you eat? So another conspiracy is that Waffle House knows disasters that's gonna happen before they happen. This is another conspiracy. Like they know in advance before anybody. Now this is something I used to believe back in the day, only because I heard that the FEMA relies on them. So because like this is theory going around about that's been around for a while. Waffle House is that they have pre-staged supplies and staff up before storms, and they stay open longer than anyone else. So this gives people like an idea, like, hey, like before these storms happen, these places are set up right before this shit hits the fan. And I guess that kind of ties into like their power stays on even during a power outage. Like when everybody else is sitting in the dark, Waffle House, they still rolling.
Isn't it like independently owned? Like
It's privately.
Like we could open one up.
It's privately owned, so I don't know if it's like privately owned, so it's kind of like
Yeah.
a family. Let's
Oh,
see, because
yeah.
I know. It says
We
the
can own
founder
one, too.
is. It says founder Joe Rogers Sr. and Tom Faulkner. Georgia is still the heart of the brand. Corporate HQ is in Norcross, Georgia. Georgia has the highest concentration of Waffle Houses in the world, and that's no lie. This like. I heard years ago there's more Waffle Houses than McDonald's in Georgia, and I believe this.
It's too many Waffle Houses, man. Too many.
Too many, bro. There's almost one on every exit. This is not
Yeah.
even like, and I'm not even joking. This is like
There's a lot where there's like one across the street from each other.
Yeah, there's literally like, why is a Waffle House here and there's a one around the corner? Like,
And then I remember one where there's one right next to each other, not even across the street. It's like one here and then one there. And it was on,
trying to hide it
the
anymore.
exit that Vince lived at. And then they had to shut down one.
yes, that's what I was talking about. They just moved it across the street. Yeah.
That's stupid.
I was just on that because
all right, let's take it across the street.
yeah, like because like I go on that side of town more now because my sister and her husband live over in Stockbridge. They live behind that Walmart over there. They like that there's like a subdivision behind that Walmart,
right.
massive subdivision. They live over there. So when I drive over to their house now, I get off on exit 2, I think it is, where Vince used to stay at, and that Waffle House is just like, but that Waffle House that used to be there. Yeah, it's now over there, but it's just like they still have like the actual frame of the building up and everything. It looks like it used to be a Waffle House. It's just now it's across the street now, and it's weird. This is like, why did they make it jump like that? I don't know, but I do remember one time. Were you with us? This one time we went to Waffle House. It was you, me, Vince. I guess it was called the Marys at the time. Were they the Marys or Galactic 4? I can't remember, but they just performed at a house party. We went to Waffle House. There was a chick there, a black chick. She was like. No. She was kind of like she was new, like she was new. Not like bad as in like she not bad as like she sucked at a job. She's like new, and so like
I was talking like look wise, but okay.
no, she's average looking lady. She's average chick. Like first day, she had the first day jitters because like when she was like writing our orders down, we had saw after she like gave us a check, and she had wrote down our names like next to each of our orders, right? And so next to a friend of mine that was there, she was like, guy with glasses. To help him memorize. And this was his meal. And that was his meal. And then it was like black guy.
Oh.
And that was me. It was like black guy. That was my meal. That was my
black
meal.
Guy.
And next to Vince's name, like his order, it was like question mark.
Oh,
and we
shit.
like died. She didn't know if he was a boy or girl, but we was rolling. That was at the same Waffle House right
That's
there today.
crazy. Question
And
mark.
we
I don't know.
and we laughed so bad. She started feeling so bad and embarrassed. And we like, no, you good. It was just like she's like, I just started and I'm trying to like, memorize people's orders because like the OGs at Waffle House, but they don't have a notepad. They don't need a notepad. They'll be like, hey, what you want? Cool. Hey, we need this. Here are the codes. And then get the food going. And then that was like the most expert Waffle House people. They don't have a pad. That's like expert level. They know how to fight everybody on the block. So But yeah, no, she like wrote down question mark next to Vince because I think because that was when he had like longer hair, and so she didn't know like if it was a dude or a chick. So it's like question mark, and we were like crying. We were like, "This is
both."
right." I don't know. She just took the safest route, I guess. She didn't want to make no assumptions. So, but yeah, man, motherfucking Waffle House. But yeah, it is privately owned. It's not publicly traded company. Controlled mostly by the founding family. That's why it moves different than chains like McDonald's. More regional culture, more corporate polish. Yeah, because it like Waffle House has grittiness to it. That is not like it ain't like.
Yeah,
That's not even.
they're
That's
not
not
all
even,
the same.
that's not even. That's not even like I used to hear this all the time. Like especially in the black community, you hear black folks say this. You hear like, hey, you ever hear like Asian restaurants never have commercials. Like I was like, and I thought about it, I was like. Yo, for real, man. The brand kind of just sells itself. Waffle House the same way. It ain't got no commercials. Like the word of mouth kind of sells itself, and that's like it's a legacy of Atlanta. So I'm pretty sure. Like every time I hear people, like when I first when I first moved out here, people like at my first job I had out here, people ask me like, hey, "Where you from?" I'm like, "I'm from Atlanta." They're like, "Oh my God, you ever had Waffle House?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like everybody and the mamas had Waffle House out there. They're like, "Oh my God, what is it like?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I don't know." And to the outside world, it's like this whimsical place. To me, it was just like everyday, like easy access to some good ass breakfast food at any time of the day.
But like people who never ate it and then they eat it for the first time, their first reaction is like, what is this? This is just greasy ass food. Like what's the hype on this? I was like, I don't think you guys understand. It's like something like you have to grow up eating.
You gotta
like,
go up this.
You have to be a part of, growing up like in Atlanta and shit.
The culture, man.
Yeah,
it's a massive part of the culture.
Yeah, it's definitely a part of the culture. It's like something like you just wouldn't understand unless it's like you grew up like eating there. Especially
my
like
biggest
during the club scene. I was like, that was like notorious time.
Notorious
Waffle House
time.
was like probably like the MVP of the night will be the Waffle House at the end of the night.
And not to mention too, like their price as far as food wise has always been solid. They just started finally going up on price since I've been going there since I was a kid. Like they finally just like all-star specials kind of looking like, okay, you're looking like about $15 when you used to be $10 before. Now you're looking like around like $13,
It's
$14.
probably more now.
It's probably more now for real. Yeah, and I haven't been in over a year. So
dude, the price of all this produce went up. Like tomatoes are up again. Like tomatoes cost more than avocados now.
That's crazy, bro. And I remember avocados was like that expensive shit that you don't buy.
Not that much no more. It's like tomatoes
they even
cost
said
more.
they even said like the price of meat is now more expensive than minimum wage in America.
Dude,
Done. Bro.
I bought like a burger combo yesterday. The total was $18. I was like,
oh my God, with the fries and
I was like, back then you could feed like 3 people with $18.
Man, I was watching this movie the other day that came out in the 90s. It's with Sinbad, and it's not Shazam, but
Shazam?
It's a movie with Sinbad. It's called I forget the name of it right now, but it's a scene where he's in McDonald's and he buys like 3 meals, and when they give him the total of all 3 meals with the drinks, the fries, and the food, but it was like $9 for 3 meals, and it was like, what, we have fallen so far.
Yeah,
man, it's even expensive to eat. That is crazy. America isn't cooked. It's well done. Like this shit is. What the fuck? I'm waiting for bread to turn $50. When that happens, it's time to go. That's what happened in the Great Depression. That loaf of bread in the Great Depression turned like $50 a loaf. And everybody's like, what?
I mean, it's happening. That shit's happening. Like, not in slow motion. Like, it's moving
in real time. We all seen it in real time. Yeah. You got anything else about any Waffle House stuff? I think I got everything.
I'm all waffled out.
All right, me too. I'm done.
All right, I got a story.
Let's get it.
All right, so study shows that sober rats prefer silence, but rats on cocaine prefer jazz music.
Hey, that reminds me of the OG YouTube video with spiders on weed. You ever seen that? Spiders
cocaine.
on LSD.
Yeah.
Spiders on LSD. And they was like making crazy webs.
Yeah, they get all like they go outside the realm of doing patterns. They become artists.
Yeah, it's like zigzags and shit. You're like, whoa.
Like, what? That reminds me of like Babe the Pig, where
Oh
the spider
yeah.
was like putting code in the webs and shit.
Oh, was that? No, that was
Charlotte
Charlotte's
Web.
Web.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Charlotte.
Charlotte's
Yeah,
Web. Yeah, because they was about to kill, his name was Wilbert. They was about to kill Wilbert. They was about to turn
yeah.
his ass into bacon. And then it's like, oh, he can read. And Charlotte was like, I'm gonna make these words in the corner. You say it to them, and then you be like some miracle pig. But yeah, she kept his ass alive.
Yeah, like just like spiders on drugs too. It's crazy when you put animals on drugs. And I know the government been testing a lot of drugs on these animals, especially
Man,
the
they just a goat.
chimpanzees, man. They saw everything.
Oh,
They probably
you
saw the
best
electric chair
believe
just for fun.
you best believe they training like they've done LSD'd up some gorillas, some
Hmm.
chimpanzees.
Yeah.
That's like the next like closest thing to a human as far as like thumbs and shit. So they're trying to see
Yeah.
how they can function.
But yeah, like the rats, just like humans, dude, when they're alone and sober, they prefer silence. I'm like the same way.
Yeah,
But
leave me
when I'm on
alone.
cocaine, I was like, where the jazz at? No, but
Yes.
I've never used cocaine, but I could imagine jazz music hitting pretty hard on cocaine.
Man, that's all they did back in the day. Them jazz musicians was all coked up, man.
I'm like,
Man.
damn, that
So
bass hit hard.
I used to hang out with Satchmo back in the day, and I used to do coke. Like there's like stories like of back in the day where like white chicks who would like be married, have husbands, got kids. They would get bored with that life of being like a stay at home wife and mom. So they would like sneak out at times and go to jazz clubs and sleep with like jazz musicians and get high with them and do coke with them. It's like this thing that was going on, and them jazz musicians were all coked up, man. That was like
Get that
the
eggplant
designer
out of
drug
my
at the time.
face. But
Yeah,
yeah, they
man.
be getting their backs cracked and everything.
Man,
Like,
jazz scene was
where
wild.
that cocaine at, Greg?
Yeah, it was more than just a cool environment. Them boys was getting that skiing the slopes. it was it
Those were the
was
days,
wild.
huh?
Man, yeah.
Yeah, they would sneak out the house, like go to a jazz club, run some lines, get their back blown out, run some lines,
Like some
and then
jazz
get
player.
home before their husband clocks out.
Yep.
Long, hard day at work, and then she's pretending to be sleeping
Right.
with her
Dinner
eyes
all
wide
made.
open because she can't close them because the cocaine's too strong.
All red veins and eyes and shit. She can't sleep.
But yeah, I could imagine, dude, any song would hit hard on any drug that makes you awake like that.
Man, even listening to the music when I'm high on weed is like, oh man, this
Yeah.
shit kind of hit different.
Yeah,
So I
because you
imagine
hear
it's
more
much
shit.
stronger. Yeah.
I was like, whoa, I don't remember that note in that song. I was like, anybody notice that one note?
I was like, I've heard this song a million times. I never heard that note before. Like,
Yeah,
what?
dude, when I was on acid, right, and music was playing, it was like a live, like they played like a live song for me to listen to. Dude,
Yeah.
I heard everybody like on the stage where they were performing.
Yeah.
I could even hear somebody's feet knocking on the wood, like you know how they tap while he's playing
Right.
while he's playing the guitar. I heard every
Yeah.
creak. I heard like every chair moving. Dude, I was like, how could I hear all these layers? And dude, the acid broke down that whole track, and it literally painted like a video image of the people playing the music because I heard everything.
Damn.
I heard, dude, I
So
couldn't
you were
even
able to like paint the picture in your head based off all the sound.
all the sounds, everything. I could feel like I was in that room with them. That's crazy. It's like you're like in a recording studio with them, but they're recording it on a stage, like on a wooden stage.
Right,
Everything.
right.
I could feel like his hands going across his hands like that. I heard everything, and I got chills throughout my whole body. I was like, "What the hell?" So this you could hear all this shit on drugs.
Man, it sounded like it pushed your senses to like
That shit
superhuman
was
level.
maxed out, dude. My senses was all maxed out. I was like, "Damn, I could hear everything." I was like, "Acid or psychedelics, period. That shit is freaking crazy. It's so weird, dude."
I can see why the government wanted to weaponize it. Though. While I don't agree with it, I do see why, man. The effects on that shit is like
It's insane.
unlike anything.
And the weird thing about psychedelics, it's different every single time. Like it's not the same shit. Like one time,
Different experience.
like you would take it, it'll be like the worst roller coaster ever. Like, I ain't doing this shit again. And then you take it again, and it's different. Like, what the hell? I missed out on all this. And then you take it again, it's
Yeah.
different again.
And psychedelics isn't known for addictive properties,
No,
are
it's
they?
not.
Like I just
Not
across the
even
board.
close.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, because me and the wifey, we were talking about like eventually like doing shroom therapy with you.
Dude,
Like
let me
we
be
did
your
talk about that.
guide.
We did talk, but she actually just mentioned it the other day. She's like, "Hey, like, would it be okay if we could like stay at his house and do it there?" I was like, I was like, I
That'd
guess.
probably be the
I was like,
safest way. The best way.
that's what I told you. I was like, honestly, that's the safest way to do it for us
Yeah.
if we're gonna do
Yep.
it. Because she feels like she gotta like clear out some blockage. She feels like she gotta
If she
go.
already feel like
Because
that, dude, it's gonna
we
be
was watching.
an experience, definitely for
Yeah, I
both
told
you
you I was like, you
guys.
might.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we was watching something the other day. Well, I can't remember what the fuck we was watching. It's driving me crazy. Oh, we was watching it, Malcolm in the Middle, right? So they brought back Malcolm in the Middle on Hulu, right?
Right.
And so Bryan Cranston is back, fucking Heisenberg. Awesome in the show again, as always. Great. And there's in episode 2, he goes to like a clinic and he's like, I'm trying to deal with like, I can't remember what the hell he went to this clinic for. Him and his best friend go to this clinic. And at the clinic, the guy's like, it's a shady looking clinic too. And the guy at the clinic is like, all right, I'm gonna give you these medications. What you're gonna do is like, you're gonna take one and, and you take one like every couple hours or so. And I can't remember why he needed the medication, but like, the dude Malcolm in the Middle's dad, like Bryan Cranston, like winds up like dumping all the pills in his mouth.
Damn.
And he drinks some water. And it's like, well, look, but it's like, what'd you just do? Well, we can't let you leave. We gotta put you in a room. So they trap him in a room till like his body just goes through the whole process of the whole thing. And so he sits in a chair, and then as soon as he sits down in a chair, another chair appears across from him,
Oh.
and it's him. And sitting in the chair is him, but in a suit and tie. And this is like the other side of him, the one that kind of like, okay, he's like, how about we talk? His name is Hal. He's like, all right, Hal, how about we talk? Like, why do you feel like your life is losing meaning right now? And he starts breaking down, crying. He's like, because my children have moved out the house and I don't know how to be a father anymore. I don't know how to exist without being a father. So it was kind of like, he was having issues like, why am I always depressed and I'm angry and all that stuff. And so he went through this layer of like, because some parents, when their children leave the house, like my dad went through this after my dad of all people who seemed like he couldn't wait for us to get out the house. My dad, like after we all moved out, he had empty nest syndrome. Well, my dad went through a depression of like, I don't know how to live anymore because I've been a father for like all these years. I don't know how to be anything else outside of this. And that's how Al and Malcolm Middle felt. And so his other side was like, look, you still have time to be Hal. You can go back to being Hal again. But he's having like identity crisis and shit. And he's like crying. Like, and the way Bryan Cranston did that scene, brilliant, man. He almost had me cry. I was like,
I gotta watch it. This is the new one?
This is the new Malcolm in the Middle. It's great, bro.
It's like that deep already?
This is like episode 2. I was like, holy shit, this is like a good character development for him because now this is like he has to learn to be somebody outside of being a dad. And he feels like I'm gonna fail at being Hal. It's like, no, you're gonna be fine. You just gotta learn how to get to hobbies again. Find out what makes your interest. Because you was Hal before you was a father. So let's get back on track. So, but his brain had to like those psychedelics had to break down these layers and calm him down a little
That's
bit.
crazy.
But then that's why me and Melissa was talking about the other day. She says, I really want to like she's been talking about a while from like want to do like try out shrooms or whatever. At least
Run it.
get the
All you need
experience
is
of it.
one good trip. And then
And I told her I was like, I had like a semi trip where I was like, the trip I had that really like it actually made me quit smoking cigarettes. Like I went through a
Damn,
trip on
that's
now. I was
good.
like, I don't want to smoke anymore. I don't know what happened. I think it's like when I went through my trip and I got to the end of it and I woke up and I was just staring at the ceiling. And I was like, what am I doing with my life? And I was like, oh my God. And it just never like I was like, I want to do better. Like something.
yeah.
I felt like a lot of my stuff was anxiety driven. It was never. And once I realized I have an anxiety issue, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to therapy and see what the military can do for me. And that's how I'm going forward with the process. Like, okay, I need to like kind of like be more self-aware of when I feel things because sometimes you'll feel things. A lot of people feel things and don't understand why they feel it. And that's why when I came out of like my only real true like not really an ego death. I was like, oh shit, I kind of like I need to do a correct course with myself because I'm anxiety ridden. I'm always sad. I don't like being sad all the time. Like in order for me to start feeling better, I have to think better. So then I start moving forward and thinking more positive about stuff because this world sucks ass. As awful as this world is, so there's times I'm like I need to like be kind to myself because the world ain't gonna be kind to me.
That gave me goosebumps. But yeah, and then like if you're gonna do it with her, that's even more powerful. It's more crazy because
She wants to do it with me.
it's gonna trip you out when your minds connect and you're like, no way. Like she's probably gonna say stuff that you're thinking of and you're gonna trip out so bad because you're gonna be like, your brain is trying to make sense of it. Like, wait a minute, that doesn't even make scientific sense. Like that, how's that possible? How is she in my head? If you guys can connect like that, dude, one, you're gonna be so scared because it's like, holy shit, I thought my thoughts are safe. How could you see my thoughts? But then two, you're gonna be like, holy shit, like this is how we're gonna make the connection stronger, like a impossible connection where you see the truth, like the real truth, and you're like, oh, this is the real shit right here.
Right.
And you guys get to face that shit together on another level. Like this is why, like couples, this would be like their last resort. Like they would do this just to try to fix whatever's going on.
Therapy.
It's powerful, dude. Yeah, let me know, man. I'll set you guys up. Like,
look, we come out there
like the lights and shit too for you guys. Like I'm gonna make it as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, I'll let you know what's up too, because we'll be out there. Like I said, we'll be out there in May, so we'll set up like a schedule or something. And I was looking at my calendar. We'll be out there in May for sure, and then we'll go from there. Because like she's if anything, she's been reminding me. I've been forgetting. She's like,
yeah, that'd be cool, man. Because I'll definitely get you guys. I'll take you guys to the door.
Yeah, I was like. I always tell her, look, I know a guy, and you know him. We can do this. We know somebody we can do this because she wants to do it regardless. But I was like, let's do it with somebody that we know, like we can feel comfortable.
Yeah, we're safe, and you know the shit's good.
And I know other people have been there too, and it seemed like they walked away just fine. So
yeah, they're all safe. I'm still here.
All right, we still here.
Yeah, like speaking of like psychedelics, like have you heard like Trump? He signed like an executive order telling like the FDA to speed up the review process for certain psychedelic treatments. Like as far as like they're doing it for a clinical trial, they want to speed up the process to get the motion going as far as like psychedelic studies. Because right now, like it's so slow right now because, nothing's being done as far as like trying to legalize the process. But he signed some shit like with Joe Rogan and stuff. I was like, holy shit, like finally they're moving forward with the whole psychedelic therapy treatment, especially for people like veterans who experience crazy ass PTSD shit. Like they, they take like a psychedelic. You ever heard of ibogaine? It's different from like a shroom. It's like a root, but you still trip out.
It sounds familiar. That sounds very familiar, but I don't know if I have, but it sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's a strong ass psychedelic too. It's like a root of a plant, and they taken like psychedelic through like a clinical, program. And it helped them out so much, like with their life. Like they quit drugs, like how you were saying. They're not on like opioids anymore because they saw something. And like psychedelics, it's not the type of drug that it fixes shit, right? You end up wanting to fix it. It's not like I tell people, like when your head hurt, right? You take Advil, it takes the headache away. Psychedelics is not like that at all. Like it doesn't fix nothing at all. It's what you see that makes you want to fix what's going on.
Yeah, that's why. Like when we and Melissa was watching, we was watching Malcolm in the Middle, and Bryan Cranston started crying. I was like, he going through ego death right now. I was like, so you might be swimming in tears when you come out. So like, it's not everything. It's not always gonna be this happy experience. Sometimes you got some, especially with somebody like people like me, myself, you, me, or Melissa, or anything, like people I know in my life sometimes, like, actually just people in general, to be honest, we got walls that we build inside of our minds that on some level we don't want to take a peek around or address it, but we know there's a wall right there that we keep up. And so we know that what's going to look like on the other side of that wall if we face it. And it's probably going to make us feel like something in a way that we don't want to feel. Right. And so I was like, but everybody needs to, and I feel like a lot of people do this a lot on this planet, ignore how they feel deep down inside, and in turn it turns them to like toxic humans. Like just kind of address the issue inside of you that you want to ignore or shove away. Because are you really alive if you trying to like bury who you are or bury like sometimes you gotta explore.
It's like if you suppress it too much, dude, you know how they say energy flows to keep going. That energy is going somewhere, dude. This is how like people. This is like just a theory. Like, if you push like all these, emotions, you suppress it all, it's going to go somewhere. And then I think this is where people start getting cancers in, weird locations. Like, oh, you have cancer here. That's probably something like they suppress, like whatever that energy was. And they never got to express it. And then they end up getting like sick a lot. People that's always sick all the time, but they never talk about shit, They just kept it in. They suppressed everything like, they never let out their true feelings and shit. And then they end up getting sick all the time.
Yeah, oh, there's time too where people don't know how to process it. Next thing you know, they're going on like on a shooting spree, like shooting
Yeah,
people
they don't. Yep.
shooting people that they've never met,
Yeah, they
but
don't know how
just
to let it out. So they're like, I'm about to shoot up some shit, you know?
yeah. I remember like some years ago, like they had that Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando, and the guy that shot up the club, it was a gay club. And come to find out, the guy that shot it up, he was a married man. I think he had a wife and everything, kids, and all this other stuff. But he was like a closet homosexual, and I was like, damn, like
Yeah.
you held it in too long, man. It just like it
Oh
burst at
yeah,
the
yeah.
seams, and
That makes
you just
sense.
you took things away from people that you can't give back. And so it's like, man, that's
Yeah.
like
I was actually there
sometimes
when
we
that
live in
happened. Like not at the gay
in
club though.
Orlando.
I was
Oh,
like
no,
driving through,
I wasn't in both, but I wasn't
but
chilling
not
in
at the
both.
club.
But
But I was driving through Orlando, and then I remember seeing all these cars shooting down the highway, like zoop, zoop, like police cars. I was like, zoop, zoop, zoop. I was like, damn. I was like, I wonder what happened.
right,
And then my dad called me because
damn.
he knew I was in Orlando. I was like, hey, like, are you around where the shooting's at? I was like, what shooting? And then that's when I looked up the news. I was like, oh shit, so that's what it was.
Man, I had something like that happen to me before when that Batman movie came out. That dude in Aurora.
Oh,
Yo, I used to live down the street from there, and I remember like I had tickets that night to go see that movie,
right.
and I didn't go because I was going through like I was going through like a leadership school in the Air Force to become a supervisor. So I didn't like I had a class the next day because the movie dropped like I think like midnight Thursday. And I was like I got class like that morning. I'd have run that morning and go to class. So I was like I'm not gonna go. But then when at the midnight opening, that's when that dude
Shot up the whole
forget
place,
his name.
huh?
Shot the whole joint, man. And I remember laying in bed that night hearing like sirens and everything going past my apartment. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I remember waking up the next day and seeing all these missed calls from my mom and all these people calling me because they knew I wanted to see that movie. And
Yeah, because they're
I was
like,
like, I didn't go 'cause I had class the next day. Like, holy
built the
shit.
Batman movie. I remember that.
Oh, I was like, I did not go because of that shit.
Good
Shot up the
thing.
whole movie.
Shit.
There's a guy I worked with that was there too, all fucked up in the head from it too. He's all messed up. He was like in the front row. Like, you know, sometimes we come in a movie theater and there's like, I guess like when you come in, there's like a front row, the first 5 rows, and then the rest in the back, and it's like that. I guess he was like, from what it sounds like, this guy I used to work with, he was in the front area, and he guess when he started shooting, he was shooting more at the top at first, and then started spraying or something like that. But he got on the ground and stayed laying down the whole time while the guy was just shooting all over the place. And
Was it he just shot up one theater or was it multiple theaters? Like I'm talking about like different
I think
movies.
it might have been one theater that he shot up, and then he shot shooting down the hallway because the movie theater he shot up. I used to go there a lot. I haven't been there since, to be honest. But he shot the shit out of that place and shot it up in the hallway, I think too. But then he wound up running out into the parking lot, and that's where the cops got his ass after he just shot up the whole joint and all that, man. But
Yeah, there was a recent shooting at a school recently. Did you see about that?
I think I did.
Yeah, I saw like the video. I was like, that is. I saw like with the lady. She was trying to go into the door, and he just like popped her ass. I was like, damn. She almost.
Oh, I
made
didn't
him.
see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, these school shootings be happening so much. It's like there was one happened a month ago, and I was like, "What? I didn't even know about it. Kids got killed and
Yeah,
everything."
it's
I'm like,
happening
"Oh."
in other countries now. It's like that shit's getting like that.
It's like,
That toxic shit is transferring overseas. I think it's because of the internet, dude. Transferring
man,
like
infections, man.
it's like a trauma transfer overseas.
Yeah, man. The internet's rough though, man. I ain't gonna lie. I think about this all the time. To me, it's like I don't know. Like
It's not
it
for
ain't for
kids.
everybody. Yeah, it's not for shit. Sometimes I wonder if it's even for adults, man. Because I feel
Not
like the internet.
24/7.
Yeah, man. Yeah, 24 hours a day you could be on this shit. There's like no limit. Like even I remember even back in the day, and this is even when I was a kid, like on television shows or television networks, TV programs, everything would end like at 2 o'clock in the morning, and it'd just be static until like 6 o'clock in the morning, and then they would start the news and stuff. But now it's like internet's like there's no break. It's
There's no
just
break.
like as much as you want. And I was telling I was talking to like Melissa and somebody else this the other day too. I think like you know how we talk about like with areas who I hate saying the word primitive that aren't as technologically advanced as other places. They live more of a simpler life off the land. Like the story of
Like the
I can't remember
digital
what year.
divide. I think that's what they call it.
Yeah, and they completely disrupt these normal, like small, like areas that, like for example, like I remember hearing a story where America like built, like one time I'm like some story like where Americans went to Africa and went to this African town, and this town for generations their job was the males get up in the morning, go get the water by the river. And that's like, and the whole process took like 4 hours out of their day. The women would prepare this stuff. And this like, it was like a schedule that everybody had that was for generations until damn colonials came over to the place. It was like, we're gonna help you guys out. We're gonna build a well. And so them building the well, even though it's not like super duper high technology that we would consider high tech, it did change their lives forever for that town, but in the worst possible way. Like the men started getting lazier because you just freed up 4 hours of their day. They're not doing anything anymore. It like disrupted the entire town to the point where it's like, hey, not everybody needs an improvement to their society. A lot of times it can disrupt it. And I feel that way with the internet where despite the fact that a lot of adults are able to use it as a healthy tool to learn, there's some adults who don't really know how to navigate the internet very well and will follow the worst sources, the worst news, or the worst anything that is not even based in maybe in like reality or something. And it kind of shows that, hey, like this technology, like giving us access to all this information may not be as good. It may be good for some, it may be bad for others. And some people, like sometimes I realize like, I think that, hey, maybe some people just shouldn't have the internet. Like maybe like some people are just like the internet might be too much for them to actually comprehend the power of the information that they have at their fingertips. If that makes sense. It's like, it's like some people just not ready to like utilize the internet in the proper way that it's supposed to be utilized to learn.
Well, it's definitely not. It's not natural. It's not normal for us to see all this information like 24/7 like that.
Man, and I see wars going on in real time.
Yeah, we're not supposed to see stuff like that. We're not supposed to see what happened in Japan, the tsunami that happened a few days ago. We wouldn't even know that shit even happened. And then we're fed all this crazy trauma and all around the world, and I think that affects us mentally.
Overexposure.
I think this is why a lot of people are dealing with depression because it's like an overdose of all this chaos and good stuff, bad stuff. It's just too much, especially social media. Happen. Yeah, it's too much.
Sad shit happen everywhere. Mm-hmm. It's overwhelming to the sense, man. It's a lot for me, and I watch the news all the time. I'm like, this shit is. I was like, I get why people can't watch the news. This shit is fucking awful.
Yeah, especially like the younger kids. They're the one that's going to be the big problem because they're supposed to be our future. But if our future is like their nose is in their phone the whole time, who the fuck are they going to save?
Yeah, they don't know a world of like disconnection. It's just always connected.
They're going to be building houses for us later.
Hell no! Not without no instruction, not without no YouTube.
Who's gonna build our retirement homes?
Like TikTok.
Shoot me already.
No, you might just be better off just going to another country that takes care of
the Philippines. They got all nurses.
All right.
Party town everywhere.
Man.
Or Cambodia. Go to Cambodia.
I'm kind of like, I see the future writing on the walls of America. I'm like, yeah, we kind of like, we actually are shopping around outside the country to move.
A lot of people are moving to like Southeast Asia. Like Thailand is a hot spot. Vietnam is a hot spot. Cambodia is getting there.
Is Taiwan down there?
Huh?
Is Taiwan down there too? Well, I don't even know where Taiwan's at on the map.
Taiwan's like in China.
Is that where it's at, China?
Well,
okay.
They want to say it's not the same country. I mean, I don't know the whole deal. But
that's where it's at. Yeah, you right. Yeah. Oh, that's where. Okay, so that's why I'm thinking. Yeah. Okay, so yes, so that's where it is. Taiwan is the one that China be beefing with.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been beefing for a long time.
No, you guys ain't by yourself. Like we are together.
Yeah, I remember hearing a story about it. It's like because Taiwan was independence from China. Mm-hmm. China's like, okay, well, we're gonna remove all the jobs from Taiwan and put them in China to force the people of Taiwan to travel to China to work some shit. They've been like button heads for a minute, man.
Yeah, it's something
crazy.
Weird.
I mean, pissed too. Like I got to drive 2 hours away now after I was working 5 minutes away.
Taiwan is very advanced though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They got that chip company there.
Mm-hmm.
The only one that can make those chips is that company. So they got a stronghold. They got a tech stronghold.
Yeah,
that shit is like alien technology, man. Like real shit. That shit has to be fucking alien technology. Ain't no human made that.
If America's ever gonna bounce back onto like, because we getting left behind on this technology shit. America messed up when they didn't do the solar power shit. They dragged their feet on that to me.
I think America is sick. Like they're literally sick, dude. They're on life support.
Yeah, like, well, a lot of people was like, well, we can, like, fossil fuels and coal. It's like, well, we're wearing the planet down by using this resource, but we have the sun in the sky, which, if you believe science, still has like 5 billion years left of fuel in the sun. Just utilize that. Like,
Then it blows up right now.
then it goes like, okay, let's go back to fossil fuel.
Son
Like,
said, "Who said 5 million? 5 billion? Boosh."
5 seconds. Yeah, but like, yeah, like this country was slow to move on. It's like, yeah, we have almost, at least as far as humans are concerned, 5 billion years is like unlimited supply of hydrogen. So like, why utilize more solar based technology instead of like digging in fucking mines and breathing in cancer?
Shit. America fucked up where they started sending like all our metals over there, like our coppers and metal. They're shipping
And
them all
jobs.
the way to China, and China's like, "Thank you. I'm gonna use this to build
Yes.
our infrastructure."
And it's crazy because like what it is, like these big wigs and these like Epstein elites in America, how they saw it as like, well, we just want cheaper labor, and that's what it comes down to. They would rather the people in this country suffer than actually pay people a wage. They'd rather give over like, hey, I'd rather pay people cheaper and make more money than actually help out the people in this country. And
Another big problem, like in America, is the drug problem. There's a big
it's massive.
people addicted to, especially drugs they're getting from the pharmacy. Like they're all
Yeah.
sick from it, dude. Especially opioids, dude.
Yeah.
That's probably like the worst shit that happened to our country was probably those opioids, and they got America fucking hooked on that shit, and it slowed a lot of shit down too.
Yeah, and well, because at first, like I always tell people this, because the opioid crisis to me, I feel like was the end goal for a lot of powerful CEOs and the pharmaceutical company. But I feel like the crack epidemic in the black community in the 80s was like always the testing ground. Because I don't think before any time in America where there was a drug epidemic that completely fucking destroyed the community like it did black folks, it sent us back to zero. That's why it's hard for us to even own shit anymore or anything. Like we just got sent back to zero. And the drugs entered the country through the CIA. So it's like a project to see what can we do to these folks and how, like, let's experiment on the effects of drugs.
Right.
And then once they showed that they was able to get away with it, that's why I was like, okay, let's move on to phase 2. Now let's do it on a population that people may care about. Let's do it on white folks. And so when the opioid crisis happened, like I was watching a video right before the podcast about a town. They said like the top 10 towns of America that you want to visit. And I think the number 2 town is somewhere in West Virginia, but it's a town that pharmaceutical companies sent 60 billion opioid pills to this town in West Virginia. And West Virginia is like fucking like this town in West Virginia can never recover from it because almost everybody, they say like it's so bad in that town because the opioid crisis that the criminals now outnumber the cops in a way that's like never seen before. And it's like everybody's on drugs, everybody's selling drugs, everybody's on drugs, and this is just from a small town that a pharmaceutical company is like, hey, let's see what we can get away with, and they just dumped 6 billion like pharmaceutical opioid pills, legal pills into the town, and this town is like, it looks like a post-apocalyptic town, and America kind of just like sweeps over it as like it never happened, but it's like, countless people are dead, and they're saying like the orphanages in this town are starting to overflow because now it's all these kids who all have parents that died from drug overdoses. And it's like, okay, you guys create a system where selling drugs is illegal on the street. You lock up countless folks, especially black folks during the 80s during the crack epidemic because they sold drugs. But then the pharmaceutical companies can do it and kill countless people and nobody goes to jail for it. And it's like,
Nope, they're protected.
man, that protected, man. Companies are seen as more important than people, and it's sad, man.
That shit
it's-
is fucking sad, dude. When they do shit like that, to wipe out a fucking the whole state got. And then what's crazy, the doctors, they're all in on it too, because when those pharmaceutical companies, they come into the doctor's office, right, and then like, hey, we want to push this drug out, please, like, could you recommend this to your patients, and we'll give you this amount of money to do it, but just make sure you recommend any patients that are dealing with slight pain or whatever, just put this prescription. And that's how they run, man. Because the doctors are getting cuts from that shit too.
Yeah, you could definitely I don't know if so much as the doctors, it's the people that own the hospitals. They're the ones
They're
that get
all
the cuts
in on it, dude. It's like the chief,
what
the top,
was it?
the tippity top.
But like even like it's mainly like because there's a show I can't remember the name of the show right now, but there's a show that breaks down the shows like a lot of doctors and nurses, believe it or not, are actually against like these CEOs how they run hospitals because at the end of the day, like when I used to work at the Center for Disease Control, right? I remember because God, I was there for 6 years. I don't know how many directors we went through at the CDC, but when I was working there, there was a director that we had at the time that got booted from her position because she was she was like the head of the CDC, and when she started working there, she was trying to get rid of like certain drugs that was already been tested, went through trials, and proven to be successful to use on people. She wanted to push those drugs out the way and bring in a new pharmaceutical drug from Big Pharma, and a lot of doctors that worked at the CDC was like, we don't like this because it's never been tested. Why are you bringing this drug in? And so when they did an investigation on her, come to find out, she was already set up to make money off of stock market based on how well this medical drug that she was pushing for the CDC to use. But luckily the drug never got pushed to the CDC. They actually had her ass booted out because a lot of doctors was like, no, like, from a moral perspective, we can't just be doing shit because of some CEOs want to push out a drug because they want to make more money and it's cheaper and it don't really work or whatever. So while there are doctors, I'm pretty sure that are on the take. Historically, even when my dad was in the hospital when he had his stroke, there were doctors that were getting pissed off on things they couldn't do with my dad because of red tape. It's kind of like, fuck, like, we want to save people's lives. We took an oath, and it's hard for us to move if y'all keep putting things in the way or forcing us to push drugs on patients that we don't even recommend ourselves. So it's a very mixed bag. It's insane.
Is
like
fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, so there's doctors who like straight up I took an oath. My job is no matter what to save people, and even like I don't feel comfortable pushing out some drugs. Now, I guarantee you there's some doctors out there for sure who don't have a problem with it, but I've seen other doctors who like, they get pissy about like, well, what's up with these people running? Because the doctors don't own hospitals. They don't own them.
Yeah.
They are just another cog in a machine, but while they may be up higher as far as like employees in the hospital, they don't own the building. So a lot of shit gets pushed in and doctors are like, morally, this is wrong, but what can I do? I'm like, I'm just a doctor. Like, I don't have that.
Yeah, they control all that shit. Bob says greed, all about the money. That's the weird thing about America, man. Like, it's always been like that, and it just keep getting worse and worse. Especially like the whole
they're draining
system.
like resources from us and towns. Like this town's dying right now because it's like, hey, how about we do this and run this town into the ground? And then these towns that no longer can function, they just like, okay, move on to the next town, and then they run another town into the ground. And it's like, man, you just leaving like a bunch of broken, poor people in your wake and dead people.
Yeah, they always been testing all this shit out on people the whole time.
Yeah.
That's why, like,
oh, hell yeah.
You know, the whole vaccine shit, when, you know, the whole COVID shit, and then they wanted everybody to get the vaccine, and then how they were pushing it so hardcore, and then they made
it's making people uneasy. I understand. Yeah. Like, I got vaccinated, but I was one of the people like, I'm gonna get vaccinated because my dad has really bad health issues, and I don't want to risk it bringing this shit right now.
Because we don't know.
But I say that like, but you ask about. I was working at CDC at the time too, and I was like, but you're asking a lot for people to trust this shit right now. This got fast tracked to like pretty fast.
I was like, that's a red flag already. I mean, I'm no doctor, but I'm like, my gut is saying like, hey, like, are you guys playing with people right now?
Now, like, I did read like a legit like scientific article that explained the process of what they were doing with the. Actually, it was like I think it was like I fucking love science. I think it was that website, and it basically like talked about how before COVID happened and how the CDC does things and all that. They are always trying to prevent they're always trying to like create like a preemptive type of vaccine that based off of predictions or how shit evolves, like germ warfare, they always try to get ahead of it. The thing is though, and while they did have like, from what I've heard, they had like small trials with the vaccines, it wasn't enough to keep like people's like fears of the vaccine like down. And so like, I was like, well, even though it may be tested for y'all, like this is still brand new to the general public. You're asking a lot for a lot of people to trust to put something in their body. And I'm like, at the same time, I was like, I can't. I was like, I'm going to take it, but I can't knock anybody else for not wanting to take it. Cause this popped up out of nowhere to the eyes of the general public. And I was like this during COVID too. I was like, if people don't feel comfortable with not taking a vaccine, I don't have
never force people. That was like,
at the same time too, I was also like this though. I was like, At the same time, though, if you're gonna move accordingly and not want to get vaccinated, they kind of just stay home. Where you have people like who didn't want to get vaccinated, but then not want to wear a mask. I'm like, damn, like on some level, this shit is still a real situation. Whether how you feel about vaccinations, this pandemic is still real. So kind of like wear a mask. But yeah, people want to go out and do clout and shit, lick ice cream, like fucking lick ice cream during COVID and put it back into the damn freezer. Like it was
Fucking
weird
Gen
shit.
Zs.
Man, no, actually, there was one guy that was 42 years old that got locked up that did it. It was so it wouldn't even. It was just
Gen
a
Z.
weird fucking
He got
time.
Gen Z energy.
It was mainly a Gen Z type of thing, though. So when a guy that was 42 that did it, everybody was like, man, sit your old ass at home. You too old to be out here in the streets acting like you some Gen Z or like you and doing COVID. You ain't got no kids.
He need to get off TikTok, man. That shit trying to make him
Yeah, it
look
was very
different.
weird, man. Very, very weird, man. So
TikTok,
people was
man.
acting. Yeah, people like the isolation, I think, drove people crazy. I mean, even during COVID, I didn't want to be around anybody anyways. I was cool.
My
with it.
life
I
was
I-
like the same because I still had to go to work. I was like, I'm
Had to go
still
work.
doing the same shit.
Yeah, we was essential personnel. We still had to go in. We still had to get shit done.
I was like, nothing changed, but the traffic went down. I was like, thank
I
you.
loved it. Right? Thank
I
you,
was driving
COVID.
like this and shit in the morning.
Man, zigzagging through lanes. I'm like, oh, man, I'm doing
I
80.
feel like
Like,
a cop right now.
right? The cops weren't even out, man. The people went out. The
They're
cops
all
went out.
scared. Meanwhile, I gotta fucking go in and touch all this nasty train shit.
Man,
I
yeah.
was
Actually,
like-
I was isolated. I was isolated for like 3 years at my job. I was lucky. I didn't see anybody.
Yeah, those were good old days.
Yeah, despite the people were dropping dead. Like
Yeah,
outside of that, I really enjoyed COVID, man. My shit was smooth. I didn't catch COVID at all during the whole time. I caught COVID after the fact. When the world was like back to normal, I finally
That shit
caught
was
it.
scary, dude. I was like,
when I
damn, this shit's crazy.
So what was the first thing you noticed when you had COVID? Like what's the first thing that went out on your body? You was like, this ain't right.
Dude, when I was walking, it felt weird. I was like, what the hell is happening? I was like, am I getting sick? Because Bob, she had it, right? She found out later she had it, but we had it was like a Christmas, right? And I ate from her plate because she didn't want to eat it. And then later, like the next day, she was like, hey, I got COVID. I was like, what the hell? I ate from your plate. But I was like, I'm not sick yet, so I might be good. It was like a few days after that. And then I was at work and I started feeling weird. I was like, I think I got it, you know? I was like, let me just go to the testing site. So, you know, because my first thing I was like, okay, if I have it, I could be off of work for like 2 weeks.
Right,
Dude,
right.
By the time I barely got to the testing site, I couldn't feel my joints. My joints were so weak, dude. Like everything felt like you know, when you take too much sleeping medicine. Like
Oh
the liquid,
man, yeah, like NyQuil.
and you just feel like mush. My joints
Yes.
felt like that.
whole body feel brittle.
I was like, what the hell is this? And then it hit hard as hell, dude. I couldn't do it. By the time I was at my exit after I waited in line over 2 hours, dude.
Yeah.
I drove home. I almost didn't make it home.
Damn,
I was like, I
man.
think this is it. Like I thought I was gonna die in the house by myself. I was like, this is
Oh,
sad.
that would suck. Yeah, nobody's here to
One
get
tear
my
came
body.
out. I was like, oh, this is it. So my body felt so weird, dude. That my body felt. I was like, it doesn't feel right. My
Like,
heart
this is
was
it.
beating all weird. I was like, this is it.
Man, yeah, I felt like when I finally caught COVID, because like when I was working at the CDC, I had to take 2 weeks off of work one time because like my grandmother had passed away during COVID. So when I went back up to Baltimore, by just by like law of the CDC, I couldn't come back to work for 2 weeks. So I went out of town for a weekend. I was off for 2 weeks, and I was like, okay, bet. Well, I got like 2 weeks of vacation, so I'm gonna like use my days to kind of like so I can get paid. And I remember I went to a funeral. I never caught COVID, and I never caught COVID once. I didn't catch COVID till like after everything was all over with, and it was like 4 or 5 years later, and I caught COVID at a gas
That's
station,
basically,
man.
they call that a fever now.
Yeah, no, and I was just like a regular, like, yeah,
That's a
I caught it when
fever.
it was like normal shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never had any breathing issues. Cause I know some people's like, the first thing I noticed, like, I lost my sense of smell. And like, for me, I remember what I had an issue with was like, I remember I took a nap I took a nap early that day because I wasn't feeling good. I was like, my stomach feels funky. Took a nap, woke up, and I remember it was during the winter time. It was like near New Year's. And so we had the heat on in the house. And I was complaining about how cold it was in the house. And everybody in the house was like, no, it's warm. Like, what are you talking about? I was like, oh, shit. And then as the night went on, I started feeling it. And then when I went to the hospital the next day, they was like, yeah, you're at 102. So you gotta yeah, you're gonna die. I'm like, all right, no,
Yeah,
they
you
ain't
about
tell
to
me that,
die,
but
big dog.
this is it. So no, they told me I had like my temperature was like 101, 102, and I was like, yeah, you got COVID. I was like, okay, so and then it's like, well, if you want to go, you go to you can go to Walgreens or CVS, and you can get the medication from there. That medication was like 1,500. Fucking.
Oh fuck!
And here's a catch too. So
Why?
like, but like,
You didn't need none
man,
of
you
that.
you
Your
gotta
body
make that
healed
money.
yourself.
So the medication to like cure yourself from COVID is 1,500, right? And I went 2 days after I went and got tested 2 days after I caught COVID. So when I went to the hospital and they tested me, it was like, okay, yeah, you had COVID for about over 48 hours now. Now there's a medication you can take. Now the medication, it only works like, you go to like whatever. They wrote me a prescription for it. I went to CVS and it was like, okay, here's the medication. It costs 1,500. I was like, oh no, I'm not paying for that. There's like, how long you had COVID for? I was like, about 2 days. There's like, this shit only works within the first like 12 hours. So don't worry about it. After 12 hours, you got to huff it out. You got to get through it. I was like, cool. I ain't been on 1,500
Fuck
anyway.
that.
Man, you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I'd die
All I
first before
drank was like water and a fucking Tylenol, and I was like, less than 3 days, I was like, I'm back to normal.
Yeah, I was
Jumping off
good
the couch and
after.
shit, doing parkour. I was like, I got 2 weeks off pay. I was like, let's go.
Well, I was stuck in the room for about a week, and then Melissa was taking care of me. I was trapped in the bedroom upstairs for a whole week, and she slept downstairs. So she was bringing me like food trays and stuff. I had comic books everywhere and shit. After the first like 2 days, I was like, "Hey, this is kind of dope, man." Like,
Cats eating served
I was
like
still
a
like
king.
and I was still like at 100 degrees. So like when I got because I went again to get my temperature taken, I was at 100 degrees, but I was feeling fine though. I wasn't like. I feel like my body temperature had evened out, so I was like, "This is about to be some fun
Yeah, you got
time."
a
I have to
little
go to
slight
work
fever.
either. Yeah, I loved it.
You didn't get
miss
that
that
real
era.
COVID like we did.
Nah, man.
I was looking at death like this. I was like, I was like, this is where you start questioning, like, could it be it? That's how crazy it was.
And I think I gave COVID to like 2 people in the house too. But like, I don't know what. By the time I got it, I'm not gonna lie. Like the 2 other people I gave it to in our household had already had it twice before. So when I got it, I felt like I was like the last survivor of a zombie apocalypse. I was like, it finally got me, man. I tried to run for so long, and I finally got bit.
The military
I got
vaccines
careless,
wore off.
man. Yeah, got fucking bit.
The 10-year vaccine wore off.
Yeah, and that vaccine was just whatever. It was. I mean,
Yeah, we went
I think it's
over.
like, because sometimes I think about it too. Like, did the vaccine help me out?
It probably
don't
did.
know.
The military vaccine. That shit gave you nothing but barriers, wall protected
they
by
gave,
titanium bullshit.
Fucking super soldier serum in us. We look like Captain America. Like,
Yeah.
they gave us a lot of shit, man.
Even angels couldn't heal you. They're like, what is this? He got too much. What are all these vaccines? Like, all they see is fucking walls. Like,
we can't even let you into heaven, man. You're not
damn
even
it.
human anymore. Like, your whole DNA done
your
changed.
soul is like trapped and shit.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know what they injected us in the military, man. It's one of the greatest mysteries. It was just fucking. We'll
Probably
find
God
out.
particles.
Oh, that'd be dope, man. I want to can I teleport to a Waffle House, please?
Dude, speaking of like the military, before we leave, but there's this one dude. He said he used to be in the military. He said he was in a special program, but he said they injected him with some type of vaccine where it actually changed his physical body. And then he said, check this out. And then I probably sent you the video, but his eyes, like it goes from normal to like a slit eye, like a snake.
Oh yeah, you did send me that. Yeah.
And then he said he started
remember
growing some shit out of his elbows, like both.
Black dude, right? It was like a black dude?
Yeah, black dude. He said he
Yeah, I
used to be
remember that.
normal, but then he said his body started like growing weird.
Fucking peeling. Got that lizard DNA.
I think that shit's real. Like his eyes like shifting like that. Whatever the fuck that is. It's
Yeah,
like they probably
man.
like created him into like a little baby reptile.
Look, it won't be the
Spider-Man
first time the
style.
military. Look, ever since I heard about the story of the Tuskegee Airmen Project, the Tuskegee Project, whatever they did, where they just injected like all these black pilots with syphilis just to see how it would affect the soldiers, and they never told them. They told them it was like some kind of like malaria vaccine, and they gave them syphilis. Ever since then, I'm like, but I don't like the military would just they own you, so in a weird way they can kind of just dump whatever they want in you.
They
And
can
now
play
they
with you how they want to play with you.
Man, yeah, legally.
And
Like
then they make
you're
you
like,
feel special too. Like, guess what? We got you in this. You're doing so great. We're gonna put you in this special program. Only you and 15 other lucky gentlemen get to partake in.
oh, check your butthole. Like,
So now they're all fucking. Now they got all AIDS
man,
and syphilis, and their eyes shift like a damn lizard.
lizard eyes, lizard with
For life.
syphilis.
Speaking of
Yeah,
lizards,
I-
before we clock out for real this time,
Oh yeah.
there's I don't know if it's a video. There's this one. Well, it's a story where people. It was like a story where a bunch of people at a rich party, right, having a gay old time, and then they said
Yeah.
the powers went out, right, but people still had like their phone lights on. So when the powers went out, they put the phone light on. They said some people's eyes, like when they put the light on, it's like looking at a cat's eye.
Oh, glows in the dark type shit.
Yeah, they're like, what the hell? Like, there's fucking reptilians at this party. Because there's only a few people where the eyes, like, it look like a damn cat eye.
That looks like something out of a horror movie, man. Like I imagine, like you take a picture of a room full of people and everybody's eye looking at the camera at the same time, and the eyes are like,
But it's only a few. And like, what the hell? Like, you guys party with fucking lizards?
man. You ever seen the movie Blade?
Yeah. With Tom
Wesley
Cruise.
Snipes? You remember? No, man, with Wesley Snipes.
I meant to say Wesley Snipes.
That's like,
Yeah.
remember in the beginning of the movie of Blade when he in the club and it's raining blood?
Yeah. That was like...
It's like that, like, and everybody in the room is a vampire, but that one person. That's what it reminds me of.
There's truth in all these movies, man. They know something.
Horrifying,
Yeah.
man.
All right, we got to clock out. We had no breaks today.
We did good. High five.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll catch you guys next week on Tuesday. Peace out. Adios.
See you guys.